Hey guys, let me change that real quick. Oh, I guess it doesn't work up. Let me just... Hey guys, first of all, ignore the messy hair. I had a hat on outside. Second of all, hope you're all doing well. I hope you like the shirt. I got this on Amazon. A little bit big, but that's okay. I wore this to the theater, but it's still a good shirt. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about one of my most anticipated movies that I got to see a few weeks ago. That is James Gunn's Superman. If you aren't aware, which I never really said this before probably, but I am a huge DC fan. I remember back like 2 years ago, I did post a video playing Batman Arkham City. It was just doing a Predator challenge. I think it was Natural Selection. Yeah, Natural Selection Extreme as Robin. If you've seen that video when that was posted, then you probably are an OG day one GeekDotXML fan. But with that aside, we're going to be talking about Superman, and the way this is going to work is I'm going to talk about the things I liked, things I didn't like, and just talk about any other things that I thought would be mentioned. So, without further ado, let's begin.
What the hey, dude?
So we're going to start off by talking about the pros that I've had for this movie, and the following pros are this. First off, I want to talk about the casting. Let's start out with David Cornsweet, the man playing our favorite blue Boy Scout, Superman. I think that he is a perfect casting for Superman. I think that he's a great modern take. Like, I do like Henry Cavill as a Superman. I think that he does look like him. But in terms of not only personality, the way he acts, and also in terms of looks, I think that he pulls off both Clark Kent and Superman perfectly, and I love that. I also really did love Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. He was such a hater. I loved seeing that. Oh my god, guys, the fact that Nicholas Hoult was able to pull off this much emotion, like, if you've seen the movie, you know how I'm talking about. Like, this guy was like pretty much a hater the whole movie, and it was so funny, but also at the same time so well done that honestly Nicholas Hoult was just an amazing why'd I say Holt like that? Nicholas Hoult was an amazing Lex Luthor. I really want to see more of him if they ever have plans for him again. But also, in terms of the other characters like Lois Lane, I really thought that Rachel, I forgot to pronounce her last name, but Rachel did a great job as Lois Lane. Jimmy Olsen was a perfect casting from day one. Skylar Gisondo is a frigging dork, and he was made to be Jimmy Olsen. He looks like a Jimmy Olsen, and I love that. I also really did love some of the other things, like I really liked the Guy Gardner. I will agree that Hawkgirl's actor is hot. Anyways, I really did like the Justice Gang. Superman's and the main characters are really great, and also I really did love Mr. Terrific as a character. Speaking of Mr. Terrific, he was a highlight of this movie. I really did love a lot of the scenes with him. He had a lot. I really don't remember a scene where I didn't enjoy him, since a lot of the scenes he had were just so, like, well done. I think, what was his name? Eddie Gaffigey, I think his name is. Eddie was such a great Mr. Terrific. He was sarcastic, smart, had some aura to him. I loved, oh my god, the fight scene he had with him playing, what was the song? 5 Years Time. That was such a perfect scene, and oh my god, I just loved it. And anyways, aside from casting and talking about Mr. Terrific, another big pro I had was actually the pacing. I really did like a lot of the pacing they had, and I do think that there was like a hit or miss part of it too, but I do like the idea of the pacing. I think that for the most part it was really well done, and I'll get to the why I say the most part in a bit when I get to the cons. But anyways, the next thing I really did like about this movie was the story. I think that it was a pretty good story. I like how we don't have an origin story, but instead we're having this already established Superman, and I do like the idea of having an already established universe for the DCU. I think that's a great way to not only like differentiate from the MCU, for example, where they have like movies for every hero. I just thought it was a really great idea, and yeah, that's all I have to say for that. Another point that I really did love was the emotional beats. They had such great emotional beats. One of my favorites was Pa Kent's little speech, or not speech, his Pa Kent and Clark's heart to heart. I thought that was really great. It made me tear up a little bit too. I will admit that it made me tear up, and I also will admit that I really did love, was it Mali, the falafel guy? Oh my god, when he died, I was like, oh my god. Like, they made me feel emotional for a side character that was only in like a few scenes. Because he was like, this guy was like trying to defend Superman. He was like, he's a hero. Oh my god. Forget Superman, this guy was a hero. But also, I really did love a lot of scenes, like for example, Superman's monologue in the end about how he's human and how you know, him showing who he is what makes him human. If you've seen the scene, you know what I'm talking about. And honestly, those are all the pros that I really have. And now let's get on to, you're supposed to edit it to where it says the cons. Oh yeah, interrupt me, why don't you? Anyways, so let's start off with one of my cons that I think I should talk about, which is about the pacing. Like I said, I like the pacing for the most part, but one of my biggest issues I had with the pacing was how, in the beginning, it was very weirdly edited. I think that they made it a bit too fast, and I do think that, like, it should have been, like, a bit slower since I wanted to, like, set up, you know, things better. I feel like they should have set things up better. But other than that, I think that they handled that pacing well for the most part. Another thing I really wish we had was more scenes with Clark Kent, more scenes with like some of his interactions as Clark, you know. We want to see him being a dork if he's going to be in the Daily Planet. I do like seeing Superman as Superman, but I also think we should see him in his Clark Kent identity, him being a dork, all that kind of stuff. Another thing that I didn't really like was the plotline of Superman's parents being, well, evil. Like, I get it that, you know, like, they're supposed to be, like, aliens, and that are supposed to, like, you know, help their race, you know, grow. But I think it's weird that they decided to have a whole thing where, basically, like, Superman's parents and Krypton was probably evil. And, honestly, like, I don't really have much to say about that. I just don't like that idea. Overall, though, I think that this movie was amazing. I will say it was super. And honestly, I can't stress it enough. If you are a comic book fan, a cinephile, or whatever, you will love this movie. If you love the DC, if you are thirsty for a refreshing taste of Superman, what the hell? What the helly? Anyways, if you are a Superman fan, if you are a DC fan, and if you're someone that's into comic books and superhero comics, or if you're someone that's even wanting to get into the DC movies, I definitely recommend this movie. It's a great starting point for this whole new universe, and I cannot wait to see what comes next. And oh my god, James Gunn, I love you. Why did I do that? Oh my god, why did I do that? Anyways, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time, and maybe the next video I'll talk about something fantastic, maybe. Oh my god, I'm so corny. I should be Superman. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this little review, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.